Hey, Jen, we gotta move. Jen, wake up, Jen. Jen. Dude, this girl's not waking up. She's not getting up. No matter what, I was shaking the girl.
Not a good look.
So Evolve is, for those who are listening, it's a music festival that happens in Canada that me and Mo used to go to while we were living there.
It's the largest music festival on the east coast of Canada. It's like a 3 or 4 day event where you get tents and camping gear, and it's all in a big open field in Canada. It's all grass fields. And people camp out there for 2 or 3 or 4 days.
Is it like Coachella? Like
something like that. Those kind of vibes. And, people with their hula hoops and colors and, everyone's like doing drugs and things like that. Those people. And then there's multiple stages. There's like the main stage where the most famous people are, or you can go to the more obscure techno type of music shit.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun, an amazing time. And you kind of lose track of day and night. When's the sun coming up or not? You don't, it's like a whole mesh of weirdness.
It's a whole experience by itself.
Yeah.
And there's one thing I want to mention is that there's this like communal feel that I get from there. Like
everyone's so lovey-dovey.
Yeah. Everyone's like looking out for each other. Like, hey, you okay, man? Like,
yes.
Get up, like
the drugs will do that, but
for
also
sure.
for
sure.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, the story that happened to me is that
sorry to interrupt, but there's also not even showers, not any that I used anyway, but there was a river in next to the field that you could just go sit in the river and wash yourself off.
Okay.
I remember being awesome. Like, man,
that was amazing.
Amazing.
Because you become so dirty over there.
Yeah, dirty and dehydrated, muddy, and because all the dancing and
yeah. It's like you're the most filthy you'll ever be in your life.
Wow.
And then you jump into this lake and you clean yourself, and it's the greatest
river
feeling ever.
Flowing water, much cleaner.
Yeah, true.
Much cleaner. Okay.
And also like going to the bathrooms, like these porta potties that you gotta use. Yeah. By the way, I have one thing that a girl once told me about those porta potties. It's so nasty. She says she once went inside a porta potty
at Evolve,
opened the seat, sat, and there was so much shit piled up that it like
touched her asshole.
Like she sounds like
she's we don't need the sound effect.
It's just like the hundreds of random strangers. Like, she told me the story. I'm like, oh my god! Get out of my face right now!
Shame her.
It's just like, I'm just trying to open up to you.
Oh man, yeah, that's wretched. Also, I don't know if you remember this, or if it was you with me. We were standing in front of our tent, and there was this huge locust storm.
Oh my god!
What's a locust storm?
Was it locusts? Is that what they're called?
I think, the moths. They were kind of like moths.
But massive ones.
It was like biblical time shit.
Straight up.
Dude, I swear we're not exaggerating. One of the nights we were there, when it hit like midnight, it's like the sky was blocked by the amount of immigrating these like
moths.
jarrad or whatever they're called, like flying moth things, to the point that we're all sitting around our camp, and they were so many were flying. They would bump onto your face and walk across. You grab it and throw it away. Like you catch them out of the air. They were everywhere, crawling everywhere. It was the whole park was just people freaking out, and people are like high on drugs and things like that. So everyone's like, dude, are you seeing this? you know, but it was real.
It's really
happening. Like, whoa, I'm seeing shit, bro. but it was legit. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was
insane.
really crazy, actually.
And we're standing outside. I don't know why we're not inside our tents protected.
We're chilling, man.
Yeah, we're chilling. And this girl was like talking to me and Mo, and this moth, like, she's like, we're talking to her, like, yeah, this is so crazy. What the fuck? Like, and then a moth just lands like right next to her, and she goes like, yeah, it's so crazy. And she grabs one and just takes a big bite. And like eats it. Like the moth is so big she couldn't take it all in one bite. Like she had to like cut it with a bite. She's like, it's really good for you too.
No way, that does not happen.
Like casual.
Is it the same as the shit girl?
No, another girl. I have no idea who this girl is. Yeah, shit girl, my friend.
Yo, she bit like the head off. Like what?
Yeah, and she's like, me and Mo are like, whoa, get out of here, get out of my face right now.
Mid convo, like, yeah, oh my god. So, and you know, they're all like loving nature, and you know that vibe, the hippie vibe. It's like, oh, nature, wow, look at all these flying things. We're one with the world. And oh, look, and she grabbed it out, and they're good for you too.
And it was in her mouth, like she left it in her mouth,
like eating, swallowing, everything.
Yeah. By the way, I don't think I was there. I think I only know the story because you told me. But
maybe Fuad was with me.
Yeah, maybe.
But I remember seeing it with my friend, and we're both like shocked. And then we looked it up later, like eating moths. What is it?
You looked it up like,
like what is this crazy person doing?
You guys Google. She
hate it. Should we call the police?
Let's Google it.
Turns out it's actually really good for you. Really, actually, moth is very healthy for human beings. It has a lot of protein.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a thing.
So,
anyways, on a separate night, other than this locust infesting storm,
that was so crazy.
Yeah. On another night, I was like at a dance floor of one of the stages, and it was late at night. I remember. And I'm just, in the middle of the crowd, and there's like a lot of crowd there. Like there's a big.
And you're like on your own?
Yeah. None of my friends are around.
So you just like venture off on your own, walk around.
Make it back to the tent whenever you see who's around.
Oh man, now that we're collecting memories about Evolve, it's so much fun. I really want to go again.
How funny is it when you're making your way between stages and you see someone like, ah!
Yeah. And it doesn't get old. You run into the same guy 4 times and you're like, yeah, high five. We ran into each other midway. Where are you going?
Which stage are you going to? Oh, nice. I catch you later.
Yeah, it's so much fun. But anyways, so I was there in the middle of the crowd, and there's a band playing, and I noticed this girl stumbling around, and she's like shorter than me a little bit, and she looked small, like size-wise, and she's like just bumping into other people, and she looked like wasted. In a whole lot of mess. Yeah, she looked straight up wasted.
Okay.
And from the looks of it, from what I'm seeing, no one is caring, and no one is like noticing this girl, and she's kind of getting like roughed up because of the crowd.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh shit, this is a girl in trouble, like in my head. So I go to her. I'm living off the Evolve.
Chivalrous.
I'm living off the Evolve vibe, like...
Love everyone.
Everyone is your brother and sister and help them out. So I go up to her. I'm like, yay, are you okay? And she's all like, oh, yeah. No, I'm fine. And then she proceeds to dance with me.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Jamil, this is the first time any girl's given him attention in his life.
Finally, yes.
Jamil's like this completely wasted girl. I will marry you.
Wait till you see my Oldsmobile Cutlass 1986.
Yeah.
But anyways, she proceeds to dance with me, and I'm like, wait, like this girl is obviously also in her dancing. She's like all over the place, and I'm like,
you're off rhythm.
You're offering them. Did you not hear the bass?
Criticizing her.
No, but like her dancing is not even okay. I've danced with girls, and most of the times it's enjoyable. This was not enjoyable.
Was she like that much of a mess?
Dude, I was like, this girl's gonna puke in my face any second. Like that's what it looked like.
Well, so why are you like taking part in the dancing?
No, she just started dancing, and like I danced for like a few seconds, and I'm just like, okay, this is awkward. I don't know what to do. So then I told her like, yo, how about we get out of the dance floor so that you can like, in my head, so like you can fucking sober up a little bit.
Jamil's like, so I can introduce you to my mom in bed.
This is not a condition for you to meet my dad. This is not how it's going to happen. I've always imagined how it's going to happen.
Do you want my mama to approve or not?
It's like you introduce your mama هاي بنت كتير مؤدبة. She's like wasted and shit. Okay.
No,
All right.
but haram, we're like butchering the girl too much. Like she's a really nice girl.
I feel like I'm butchering you, man.
Oh yeah. Wow, man, butcher me, yeah. But anyway, so we get out of the dance floor, and we're walking together, and she decides. Well, first of all, she goes like, "Oh my god, it's so cold! It's so cold! Oh my god!" And she's like shivering, and I'm snuggled up in. I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. My favorite ever jacket, like this
hoodie.
jacket.
It's a hoodie.
Yeah, it's a sweater.
What's it like?
There was just something about that sweater that I loved so much.
Well, describe it.
Okay, well, it's really comfortable from inside, and from outside it looks not too like clean, but not too.
Can you give us a color?
God, it's all over. It's like blue and green and.
I vaguely remember. It's like multicolored, like hip, festival vibes.
Okay.
But no, not even that. It was like the sweater that I would wear all the time in Halifax. I would wear it all the fucking time, all the time.
Yeah.
And it was really my favorite sweater. So I decided, I was like, oh shit, you're so cold. Here's my sweater, wear it. And she's like, oh, that's the sweetest thing ever, like something like that. And then she proceeds to lie down on the ground, on the grass.
While wearing your sweater.
Which is not the most unusual thing.
Not unusual at all. She's just like lying down, like, oh yeah, like maybe rest or whatever. I'm like, okay. So now I'm like, okay, gonna be sticking with her, like.
She got my sweater.
She got my sweater. This person might die in my head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm staying for those above 2 reasons.
Yes, of course.
So I lie down next to her, and we're just like lying down, and we talk for a little bit, random shit, and then we're just like there, and I feel like she looked like she slept. I'm like, this is a predicament. I would like my sweater back, and I would like to go back to party.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm just like, how long will this last? So I just stayed there for a little while. I was like, eventually she's gonna wake up, right? A car comes, headlights right on us, and it's right in front of us, and the car honks its horn. And it's like car driven by like the security of the festival.
Oh no! And Jamil's next to her, passed out.
I'm next to a girl who's half my size. As soon as that happened and headlights are on her, I look at her and I'm like, holy shit! This girl looks like she might be underage.
Oh
like,
no!
On top of everything, I'm just like, oh my god. And then the security comes and is like, hey, everything all right here? And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're just like lying down, chilling out. And he's like, yeah, because you guys are on the way, you're on the path for the vehicle. You got to get out of the path. So you can lie down there at the, like, right next to you. I'm like, oh, okay. So I look at the girl and I'm like, hey, Jen, we got to move.
Is her name Jen?
Yeah, her name's Jen.
Okay.
Hey, Jen, we got to move. Jen, wake up, Jen. Jen. Dude, this girl's not waking up. She's not getting up. No matter what, I was shaking the girl.
Not a good look.
Like if I was the security, I'd think like I roofied this girl or something, Like, Jen, please wake up, please. And then the security comes like, anything, is there a problem? And I'm like, no, she's just not getting up, man. I don't know. I swear to God, I just met this girl like 5 minutes ago. This is my sweater, by the way. So both security guards come and they like help me to wake her up. So she wakes up and she's like, oh, okay. And like she gets up and we move over and we chill on the grass field. And then the security asks me like a couple of questions like, is she all right? Stuff like that. And I tell them like, yeah, I saw her. Like we were dancing there. She looked like, started talking to her, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, take care of her. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, don't worry.
That's very trusting of them.
Yeah. So they left, and then me and Jen,
Jamil worried about his sweater.
yeah, me and Jen are in front of each other, and they're like, "All right, so Jen, where's your tent?
Yeah.
Let me put you
Walk
back
you.
in your tent,
Yeah.
walk you to your tent, so that you can sleep. Like, obviously, you're not gonna go back and party, right?" So she goes like, "Yeah, let's go to my tent. Let's go to my tent." And we're walking around for an entire hour, and we cannot find this girl's tent.
She can't find the directions.
She cannot recollect where her goddamn tent is.
Yeah.
And she's wearing my sweater. And at this point, it is freezing. And I'm freezing my ass off. And I'm just like, God damn, I'm never helping a girl dancing ever again. And then she goes like, oh, I need to use the bathroom. So she goes to one of the porta potties. And like, I swear, as she's walking away, I just wanted to be like, can I have my sweater? But like, she went away. And I'm like, all
You
right.
lost your chance.
And then I like sit there in front of like 10 porta potties, yeah? And I'm like, focus on which one she goes into.
Yeah.
Like, so that you
don't
know.
wanna miss it. You don't want to miss your opportunity.
Yeah. So I just look, and they're all the same color. And she goes into one, and I'm like, look at that one. And I'm like sitting there looking at it, waiting for her to get out.
Extreme focus.
And she takes like another hour in the porta potty. And the thing is, after like 15 minutes, I'm just like looking, which one was it?
Yeah.
Like, she had to take the middle one, which makes it a lot more difficult to like figure out, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just there freezing. And then eventually, like, I reached the point where I'm like, that's it. Fuck it. Like, I lost my sweater and screw this girl.
Yeah,
and I'm
fuck that.
and like, fuck this. I'm just like pissed. I'm so pissed. And I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm leaving. Oh, like, I'm starting to walk out, and it's like, from the distance, like, Jamil. Like, I turn around, and it's Jen. She finally got out of the goddamn porta potty, and she comes like, ah. And then she ran into her friends as she's walking towards me. I'm like, oh, yes, finally. It's getting solved. Like, I'm bitfuck. I'm bitfuck.
There's hope.
Yeah, so I go with her and her friends to her tent.
But Jamil's saying to her tent, but like the campsites where her and her friends' tents will be, there'll be like chairs between the tents and
Like their station.
Yeah,
exactly, their station. So we go, we're like chilling somewhere there, and I'm chilling with her brother and her girlfriend or whatever. And she's sort of there, but like she just goes and lies down inside the tent. And like she said, she wanted to get something, and later on they told me that she slept. She slept inside the tent, and I'm outside the tent without my sweater. And her brother, who happens to be gay, like very obviously he was gay, I start talking to them, and it seemed like from their demeanor, her girlfriend and her brother, that I was sort of like unwelcome. Like, that's the feeling that I was getting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Came back with her. She passed out. What are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if maybe it was just in my head at the time, like, I wasn't thinking straight, or maybe like that was truly what was happening. But I felt like I was trying to muster everything inside me to try to be like, by the way, this fucking sweater she's wearing is mine, so y'all better give that shit back before I ever take a step out of your stupid ass tent. But I didn't, because I chickened out. I was just like, I can't even get myself to ask.
Are you thinking like it's so aib?
I have no idea. Well, I can't remember.
There's paranoia going on.
There's like paranoia, and there's like they were giving off the vibe of like, you're unwelcome, like get out of here already, like. And I didn't have it in me to like fight back. Anyway, so I'm just like, all right.
You're just defeated.
I'm just like, this night is not going well from the beginning. So I'm just like, all right, guys, you guys have a good night. I'm leaving. So I leave. And I'm just like, fuck this bitch.
As you're walking?
In my head, fuck this bitch. She stole my sweater. And then I look like a rapist. And then her fucking gay brother thinks that I'm unwelcome.
She put you through a lot.
Yeah, man, I suffered. And like, I had to spend that entire
and you
night.
waited without a sweater outside the porta potties and
2 hours, like 1 hour looking for the tent, 1 hour at the porta potty. Like, when the hell am I gonna get my?
She really took you for a ride.
And then I spent Evolve. By the way, that was my only sweater, so I had to go and like
the whole time you're just hating her.
Yeah, the entire night I had to spend it without a sweater. I was freezing my ass off. And then what's it called? What happened? The next day, I tried to figure out like a sweater. Like went into town, had to pull out like cash, buy a sweater, and then come back.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
so
a
annoying.
whole mission.
Yeah. Because also I remember what I told myself. I was like, maybe the next day I'll find her and then get my sweater back.
Go on another stalking mission outside the porta potties.
Dude, like not even enjoy the festival
Yeah.
anymore. Just make it about the sweater.
Yeah. But it was approaching nighttime and I was like, man, I'm not going to find this girl. So I went into town, bought a sweater, came back. Anyways, finished Evolve. Evolve was amazing. And I go back home like that same day of going back home. I took a shower, like want to wash yourself from all that filth. And I'm feeling great like after the shower. I look at my phone and I have like 20 notifications from Facebook.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. I open and it's a post. Okay, I've been tagged in the comment section of a post on Evolve Facebook page.
Okay.
Evolve's official Facebook.
Official Facebook page. So the post was Jen, the girl, posted a comment saying, guys, I have met the nicest, most chivalrous man I've ever met in my life. Like a whole fucking like article about how amazing I am. And then he caught me from a crowd of people who were stomping at me and I was helpless and I was getting, like I was really drunk and I couldn't help myself. And he caught me out from a crowd and helped me out of the crowd. He proceeded to give me his sweater as I was like freezing and shivering from cold. And then he helped me to find my tent and he waited for me for an hour and I don't know what.
He's such a gentleman.
He's such a gentleman. Jamil, Jamil. If anyone knows this man, please tag him on this post.
Like a plea.
Straight, she couldn't find me. I don't know. She didn't tag me. And people are commenting like, Jamil rocks, Jamil is awesome, Jamil is the man. Just random people I've never met in my life. Yeah. And then one friend of mine was like, at Jamil Adas, could this be you? And I'm like, yeah, how many Jamils do you think are there at Evolve? That bitch stole my sweater.
She's like,
Jamil's version of the story.
She's like, he's the most charming gentleman
I've ever my eyes have ever graced. And Jamil's like, fucking sweater stealer.
Jamil like angry, like the fucking bitch.
If I ever run into her, I'm gonna pop a cap on her.
Yo, that's insane.
Yeah. It's so funny. I just commented, 'cause she was saying in the post, like, I really want to give him back his sweater. I was like, yeah, that's me. Ha, this is hilarious, blah, blah, blah. It was a whole thing.
Was she from Halifax? Like, was she back in Halifax?
I don't know where she was
Evolve?
from originally, but she was living in Halifax.
Okay.
Because what ended up happening is, she added me on Facebook and she's like, hey, when can we meet up? Like, she wants to like meet up and like hang out or
give you the sweater,
give me the sweater
presumably?
back, you
Yeah.
know. So I'm like, yeah, for sure, let's meet up. I don't know why I didn't follow up a lot. She asked me multiple times, let's meet up, and I was just like busy or something and like never thought twice about it afterwards. But it was like a story that I kept on telling. And people were like, well, you should go meet up with her. What are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I should do it. I never did. But fast forward like a year later, at this point I was living alone in a house, and I remember my neighbor was this girl who I thought was really good looking.
Oh, she was.
Yeah. Oh, you remember her?
Yeah.
Oh, random. Okay. So she was really good looking, yeah? And Mo testifies to that.
Yeah. I remember once she like spoke to Jamil about something,
Yeah,
and like we talked about it for like a month, analyzing it.
sounds like me.
Yeah.
So good-looking neighbor.
Is she the one who was once crying and crying and crying in the hallway, and you went to like talk talk to her, make her feel better. Remember, you have a story when you were living in that South Street apartment by yourself.
That rings a bell.
Someone was crying a lot, like bawling, saying, "My family's never going to accept me the way I am." Or that might have been like a dude who was gay who was coming out. And you were like comforting him in the hall.
No.
You don't recall that?
No.
Okay, vague memory. Anyway.
Anyways, so...
Sorry, everyone.
A good-looking neighbor, right? I've always wanted to talk to her, maybe spoken to her like twice, but it's like, whenever you have like one of those girls that you are just so nervous talking to, and you're like, why the hell am I nervous?
Never had one of those girls.
Yeah, me neither. They're always the ones that are nervous.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Anyways, so she was one of those girls. Anyways, I go to this party with some friends at some bar, club, whatever. And I'm just like hanging out, and I notice like I'm sitting down on a table with a friend, and the neighbor girl, my neighbor, she passes by the table and she notices me. She goes like, "Oh, Jamil, hey, you're my neighbor, blah, blah, blah." And we start talking, we're hitting it off so well. And I'm like, oh my God, this night couldn't be going any better. Like, it was so great. Like, I was in such a good mood starting the night that, when you pick up momentum talking to a good looking girl, and it's just like going at the right direction.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, I'm just going to go to the bathroom and freshen up or something." She goes, freshens up, comes back. She comes back to the table with a girl behind her. And I'm like, hey, like, I don't know, she gave me a hug or something. And then I see behind her Jen, the girl from the music festival. And Jen goes crazy. She goes like, "Ah!" pushes my neighbor away.
No.
And like goes and hugs me and starts kissing me. And it's like, oh my God, I thought we would never meet. Like, shit like that.
Like a psychopath.
And I'm like, you're ruining everything.
For real, you've taken my sweater.
Just kill me. Just kill me.
And she's like, best guy ever.
Best guy ever.
So like, we're hugging and kissing and I don't know what. And she's like, oh my God. And the neighbor is just like weirded out completely. And I'm like, how do you guys know each other? Like trying to bring the neighbor into the conversation.
Yeah,
somewhat.
of course.
And
Yeah, you got to tie back in.
yeah, and the neighbor's just like, I just met this whack ass hoe in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh man, so you're telling me there's no connection whatsoever
Between you two. You don't know each other.
Are you sure?
Is there a 1 in a million chance there could be a connection? Do you have any similar aunts, maybe? Common aunts?
Like, please come back. to
Anyway.
this conversation.
What's her last name?
Oh my God.
So obviously neighbor girl got weirded the fuck out.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I'm getting out of here. like she probably thought, okay, that Jen girl just reserved this man for sure.
And she's a crazy psycho asshole that she met in the washroom.
Yeah, and she's probably like, from a female perspective, like this guy associates with this type of girl.
Well, I don't know.
Like
But
that's
maybe
what I
Jen's a
would
nice
assume.
girl, but in her mind,
Jen is a nice girl.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's a nice girl, but like it just seems.
But
like,
her reaction, was crazy. But I mean, understandably so. She's meeting the most chivalrous man
In the
she
world.
ever met.
Jamil still understanding.
So so I started like talking to Jen. Oh, that's hilarious. Yo, what happened? Blah blah blah. Recollecting all our memories, and then this is where it really gets me angry. She goes like, at some point, like we're starting to hit it off, me and Jen.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, this is nice. Like, I'll take whatever I can get. No.
No standard.
No, but for real, like she was being very nice, and we were actually hitting it off. And then we were waiting outside of the club, and she goes like, "By the way, you're gay, right?" I'm like, at this point, I just lose it. I'm like, first you take my sweater. And no, I'm joking. I didn't do that. But I was like, no, I'm not gay. What would ever make you think that I'm gay? Like, what got you thinking? She's like, Well, you know when you put me back in the tent that night, and then you were there talking to my gay brother?
Okay.
Well, he was talking to you, and he likes you, and he definitely knows you're gay. Screw your brother! Screw you! I'm out of here! Get me my sweater right now!
Whoa, what a
So
plot
on
twist.
top of everything,
Oh no.
she's like basically telling me
Ruined your
that-
best chance with the hottest chick,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, there's
even
no chance
with her,
with her.
there was no chance.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that is so great.
what a Jamil-like ending.
Yeah, I just went back home then.
You didn't get your
I
sweater?
just went back home.
Yeah, I just
Like if you're wondering, I went back home.
I made it home safely.